Keesha here helped write the proposal that got the government to fund us.
And that grant was based on the actual price ELQ paid for the Charles Street properties.
Yeah, that's right.
A price well above the fair market value.
It's strictly legal, Tom. I checked it. I double-checked it, as a matter of fact.
Strictly legal or not, I'm sure ELQ took a massive tax write-off. Am I right? Then you turn around and use those same inflated figures to apply for a matching federal grant, which socks it to the taxpayers all over again. Isn't that fraud?
Just a minute. What the hell is going on here?
The letter is anonymous from a city employee, but it clearly accuses Justice Ward and ELQ of improprieties as far as the foundation goes.
I'd like to see the letter.
Always the lawyer, eh, Justice?
Impropriety. I don't understand.
Of course you do, Ned. It goes back to when ELQ, under your auspices, bought out the original partners in the real estate venture.
That was you and grandfather and Lee Baldwin.
Exactly. We paid inflated prices for the properties because we wanted to make sure that we got them for the incinerator project. Then when that bit the dust, grandfather here arranged for ELQ to buy them back from us.
At the same inflated prices, which you insisted on because you didn't want to be left holding the bag. Why should I?
And then, Ned, you took the inflated value rather than the fair market prices of corporate tax write-off.
Well, of course I did. That's what ELQ paid for the property.
Absolutely. Now, that sounds like a solid business decision to me, and there's nothing wrong with that.
What's wrong with it, Edward, is that when we applied for the grant, it was at the same inflated price. In other words, the government has underwritten not only your hefty tax deduction, but the matching grant funds as well at an amount that has no basis in reality, at the taxpayer's expense.
Now, wait a second, Justice. This is not illegal. I checked this out. Hell, I double-checked this with our corporate accountants.
AJ, it is unethical. And you've dragged me and the entire Charles Street Foundation into it with you.
You really didn't know about this.
I read the application, I saw the figures that we submitted for the grant, but I didn't question them, but that's no excuse.
You know the saying, Justice. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is.
What's your interest in this, Tom? Is it civic concern or a more personal axe to grind?
Really, Edward, you should be grateful I brought it to your attention. If it blows up, at least you've been warned.
Well, it has blown up. And I, for one, would like to know exactly what you intend to do about it.
Okay. And what we don't want is to make the situation worse. There has been no cover-up, and we don't want to make it look like there was one. I need 24 hours to consult with our legal department. We can either amend the corporate tax return to reflect the market value of the real estate, or we can return the questionable portion of the grant.
Either way, we're going to be writing a great big fat check.
Now, wait a second. Maybe we don't have to do anything at all. I mean, come on. It's not like we're going to be making the same mistake again.
Unacceptable, AJ, to me and to whomever wrote this letter.
But they'll probably go to the press if it looks like we're ignoring them.
That would be my guess. But I don't think 24 hours is too much to ask for. I'll be waiting for your response. I look forward to your solution.
I don't trust him. He gets too much pleasure out of bad news.
I still don't understand how we can be in any kind of trouble if technically this is legal.
It is exactly your inability to grasp that particular nuance that makes it necessary for you to prepare your resignation from the foundation. Now, I won't stand here and preach to you, AJ. I have found it necessary to walk a fine line on occasion, but I have the good sense not to ask Uncle Sam to take the stroll with me.
I'll take full responsibility for what happened. And if the board sees fit to ask for my resignation, then I'll resign. But I'm doing it because I care too much about this foundation to cause it any more embarrassment.
Me too. I am the one who filled out the application. I'm smart. I should have questioned the real estate prices.
That's very noble, Keesha, but it's unnecessary. You were just expediting AJ's orders.
I suggest we all just go home and look at our options. Grandfather?
I'll be along in a minute. I'm going to close up here.
Well, don't dawdle. We're far from done.
I expect to hear from you soon, Edward.
AJ, I'm sorry. The truth is, you didn't handle this any differently than Grandfather would have. So my advice to you is get him away from Ned and tell him exactly that.
Thanks. Somehow I think it's going to be a little bit late for that, Jason.
Well, I'd better get home and see about damage control.
Yeah.
Call you later, okay?
AJ, I am so sorry. You know, I was supposed to help you, and I let you down.
Keesha, I screwed this up all by myself. I want this to work. I really wanted this to work.
Everything's under control. Famous last words.
Tom Hardy swears he didn't alert the media. We spoke to him.
So did I.
Well, somebody has an axe to grind. Gee, I wonder who has it in for the Quartermains, do you think?
You know, it could be someone who has it in for the foundation.
But we haven't been around long enough to make any enemies.
Well, unfortunately, all it takes is one person.
Ain't that the truth? Granny Mae, were you able to get hold of Reverend Phillips?
Reverend Phillips is with the Clark family. They say Marlene is not going to make it through the night. Orville Leeds is out of town on business, and so we're all here.
Grandfather's conferring with his lawyer in the library.
I just bet he is. What about the CEO of ELQ? Where's Ned?
Ned is in Schenectady, of all places. He's making a nasty habit of being unavailable in a crisis.
Oh, so you admit that this is a crisis, Edward?
Look, there's something in the tone of this that leads me to think that the target is personal. But are they after you, Justice, or the Quartermains in general?
Or both. It doesn't matter. We're all in this together.
Well, the point is, how do we get out of it? Now, clearly, the original plan can no longer fly, which was to quietly return the grant money in question and to correct the figures.
Wait a minute, I'm curious about something. Now, how did this grant come about?
Look, one of the head men at the Economic Development Agency heard about the foundation, and he encouraged me to apply for the grant.
Well, how did he hear about it?
Catherine.
Catherine Bell?
Of course. Now I remember. You said that she had spoken with Howard Forbes at the EDA, and I was against it at the time.
Wait a minute. You said from the get-go that Howard Forbes was above reproach.
He is, and what would it serve him to have a scandal involving one of his agency grants? And the grant itself is legitimate. Our problem is a public perception of malfeasance.
It's a PR problem, really.
Exactly. Much as I would like to pin this on Catherine, I don't see how.
No, I agree. I mean, Catherine was simply trying to get back in the Quartermain's good graces. And, you know, as I recall, Grandfather, you seem to get a kick out of the idea of using Catherine in that way.
Did you also get a big kick out of using the rest of us to set up your tax dodge, Edward?
Now, you wait a minute, young man.
Wait a second. I said I would take full responsibility.
I don't see any point in fixing blame here.
Well, let me explain to you what the point is.
No, let me take this. The point is that you have put us in a position of seeming to condone the very things that we fought against for so many years. Robbing the poor, lining the pockets of the rich.
Mary May.
And I have allowed it to happen.
I was trying to do good.
People are going to remember our former relationship, and they're going to judge us accordingly. Maybe it doesn't bother you, but it bothers me. Now, I have my family's reputation at stake, and the faith and the integrity of this community.
I'm sorry.
It's too late for that. Fix it.
Well, that's the problem, Granny Mae. There is no quick fix.
I see no reason to jettison the plan which Ned and I devised. We simply go public with it. We call a press conference first thing in the morning to announce that we have already initiated repayment of the questionable part of the grant, even before the news broke. Then we will officially present the foundation with a quarter-main check to cover the shortfall so that the program can move forward. And if the grant should ultimately be withdrawn completely, we'll cover those funds too.
Another tax deduction.
Well, so what?
It's about more than money.
I will personally guarantee that you and Justice had nothing whatsoever to do with any of the questionable financial decisions. Culpability is clear.
There was mention of a resignation.
I said I'll take full responsibility for this, and I will. But damn it, I checked and double-checked the legality of basing that grant on the actual purchase price of the property. I might be a lot of things, but stupid ain't one of them. And as for the morality issue, I don't see anyone going after Ned's side because he did the exact same thing, except it was on the ELQ tax return. All right, fine. Fine, you want a scapegoat? I'll be it. I hereby tender my resignation.
No, if you resign, I resign. Look, as a member of this board, I had access to that grant application. So did everyone in this room. Now, if we didn't question it for whatever reason, we're all as responsible as AJ.
You're absolutely right. There's no excuse to hide behind ignorance. That grant went in with my implicit approval as a board member. I should have made it my business to read it and understand it. And Edward, if you go to that press conference tomorrow and try to exonerate me, you will be patronizing me.
I feel the same way.
I'm not on the board, so I can't resign from it, but I worked with AJ on that application, and if I had asked more questions, AJ might have rethought his decision and none of this would have happened. I was not doing my job. So I apologize to the board, and I apologize to AJ.
Well, I'd like to thank Jason for saying what I should have said. If anyone should resign, it should be me. As president of this foundation and as a lawyer, I not only signed that application, I damn well should have understood the ramifications of those figures. As I recall, when AJ brought me the application, I was busy doing something else. I looked at it, quickly signed it, and didn't give it another thought, and that is inexcusable. So, now I'm embarrassed, and I'm angry. Well, I had my opportunity back then to stop it, and I didn't. So, Edward, you can't say that I had no part in this questionable financial decision. I left myself wide open. And in so doing, I let the rest of you down who assumed that I wouldn't sign anything if it wasn't okay. So, if there's going to be a scapegoat, it will be me.
Oh, for heaven's sake, we can't have everyone resign. We'd look like idiots.
Well, then, I suggest a united front, a frank admission of our mistake with no excuses. Is that acceptable to everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the best we can do.
All right. All right. Let's wrap this up. We have to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for that press conference tomorrow because it will be grueling. Come on, Lee, I want to talk.
I'm glad you said what you said.
Well, it's a little hard swallowing all that humble pie after a belly full of righteous indignation. Nothing's ever simple with you Quartermains, is it?
Sonny?
Jason, thanks for not letting me get hung out to dry.
AJ, you were asked to pay for everybody's sins. You know, I would have liked to see Grandfather and Mr. Baldwin take some responsibility for inflating those prices in the first place when they tried to gut the neighborhood for that incinerator.
You know I was involved in that, too.
AJ, you were doing what you thought would please Grandfather.
So that's what you think of me. I mean, I'm not one of the bad guys. I'm simply Grandfather's little apple polisher.
Look, we all share responsibility for this mistake. Let's just learn from it and move on.
Hey, all for one, one for all. You know what? Justice even came to your defense.
No, Justice just can't stand to see anybody get railroaded, even if it's me. He's too fair-minded.
You should tell him that.
Me?
Yeah.
I think his jaw would probably drop if he heard that coming from me.
Probably.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Definitely?
It would definitely. He'd have a heart attack.
No, he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
Oh!
Hey, there's Keesha Work. Excuse me. Keesha.
What about the IRS? What about the foundation being in jeopardy? The foundation is in jeopardy because of the assassination allegations.
No, anything.
It's been like this all morning.
Oh, here's the councilman.
Oh, what a reception, what a reception. The Ward family is doing well. Thank you for asking. Listen, this foundation is up. It's 100%. We're charging full steam ahead. Y'all ought to come in there and check it out sometime.
What about
now,
the
that's
warehouse?
the story.
Go back to the newsroom with
that. Come on.
Listen, when there's a statement to be made, you'll all be called. You know I'm always forthright with you. You know as much as I do.
Look, I'm trying to be nice here, but you're really starting to make me angry. How many ways do I have to say it? Leave.
Why do you have such a problem answering a couple of questions? The public has a right to know. What are you people trying to hide,
I'm
huh?
not trying to hide anything.
Great. One question. Speaking as a ward, how do you feel about ELQ using the Charles Street Foundation as a tax dodge?
Well, I believe that I can speak as a ward, and any alleged tax dodge is for the IRS to decide, not the media. Now, that's the only statement that you're going to get around here, so, Bill, I suggest you leave. Now.
Last time I checked, this was a public business.
Exactly, and your presence is preventing us from conducting it. Goodbye.
Councilman Ward.
One more question. Thank you very much. That was unfortunate.
Man, I try to get him to leave. There's Justice. I feel terrible about this.
Relax, Jason. It's not your fault.
It's my family.
Well, there's plenty of that to go around, believe me.
I don't know how much more of this I can take, Justice. When is this going to stop?
Look, don't flip out on us now.
I am not good at this kind of thing, Justice.
Who is, Keesha?
Well, some of us are more experienced than others.
You two have no idea how embarrassing this is for me. I don't have the constitution for scandal, Justice. You know, I'm walking down the street, minding my own business, and perfect strangers come up to me and start demanding explanations. And instead of saying something reasonably intelligent like, no comment, I start feeling guilty and like I have to explain. So I try, but I'm stumbling and stammering, so I end up looking as guilty as I feel. Keesha Ward, corporate slut. Who would have thought it would come to this?
Look, Keesha, isn't it possible you're overreacting? I mean, guilt is one thing, and I know that place well, having had to apologize for my family my entire life. But corporate slut? No.
Besides, a little bit. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. So you may as well suck it up.
That's very helpful. I'll try to remember.
I practically had to outrun a camera crew to get in here. Has it been like this all day?
Simone, it's been like that all day and counting.
What gives them the right to camp outside your doorstep like that?
Public property.
Are you the only quartermain here?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
I thought your family was supposed to be containing the situation.
Well, they like to contain from a distance.
Why do I feel like we're being hung out to dry?
Look, Keesha, I'm not going to let that happen, okay?
Neither will I.
Suck it up, right?
Suck it up.
Well, I guess that's what we're going to have to do, because we got a million errands to run.
Well, just keep moving. And don't say anything.
Don't worry, I've got her covered. Come on.
All right. Bye.
The guy was so obnoxious, I couldn't believe it. Justice finally managed to get rid of him, but it wasn't pleasant. And Keesha was freaked.
A pack of vultures.
Jason, I'm sorry she had to deal with that.
Where were you?
I was with our accountants returning the disputed portion of the grant money.
That's a relief.
Look, as far as the press is concerned, I'm afraid Ned's right. We're just going to have to ride this out. Once we get the initial businesses up and running, the success should speak for itself.
Excuse me, Miss Coe,
Miss Cole, were we expecting her?
No.
What fresh hell is this?
Well, you know, it was just so silly of me to cool my jets out in the foyer when I am practically a member of the family. Hello, Quartermains. Now, don't worry, I'm not here to take up too much of your time because I myself am in a big hurry. I mean, there just aren't enough hours in the day to get everything done that you need to do, is there? Oh, no, don't bother offering me anything to drink, Reginald. Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in my ever-expanding quest to live my life to its fullest karmic potential, I am in the process of cleansing my aura. How, you might ask? Well, it's very simple. You must go around forgiving everyone who's ever done anything vile and nasty to you in the past. And look at all these bright and shiny, happy little faces. I just don't know quite where to start. Let me see. You, I think. Monica, I forgive you for stealing Alan away from me.
Lucy,
No, it's okay. It's okay. I am releasing that. I'm letting it go. Boy, that's incredibly generous of me. I mean, after all, that was an excruciating, painful thing for me to go through. Alan, you, I forgive for doing the unbearably cruel act of leaving me for her. Oh, Edward, oh, Eddie, where to begin? You know, when I think of all the times you yelled at me, condescended to me, patronized me, I don't know what exactly... Well, you know, we could be here for days if I keep going on, so... You know what I'm going to do for you? You get the special, over-the-counter, generic, all-purpose absolution. I forgive you. Oh, AJ, you... I forgive for the disgusting tax mess you've gotten deception into, you know, with the IRS and ELQ, and for giving me a public relations nightmare. And I'm working so very hard to improve my corporate image. Oh, and big star here, AJ. I forgive you for staring at my legs through every single board meeting. Jason, you... I forgive for not spending quite enough time with me ever. Oh, and I forgive you for having to be a part of this interesting family. You know what? I bet it's not your fault. You probably did something disgusting and awful in a past life. Reginald, you, I am going to use to forgive your uncle for never really paying me the proper respect and that disgusting snobby attitude he always had and never recognizing me as the mistress of the house. Emily, you, I have absolutely nothing to forgive. So, this is me leaving. Stop.
Holy mackerel.
Does she make everybody dizzy, or is it just me?
You want a scotch?
I don't drink.
I'll take a double.
Good idea.
What's
Hey.
here? I thought I'd be opening up.
Well, you know what they say about the early bird, huh?
When did you come in?
7:30.
Wow. Have you had breakfast yet?
No, I have. Oh, what do we have here? This looks wonderful.
Coffee and fresh corn muffins.
You are truly a beautiful human being.
So why the crack of dawn?
I want to get on the next 4 candidates for the loan applications, get them up and running.
Another 4 already? Won't that put us over budget?
Well, not if you and I make a selection with the same discernment and strict criteria that we have been using. And don't worry, I'm going to make this one so clean it squeaks.
Well, I can admire that, AJ, but...
If we start scraping bottom, I'll just kick in some money on my own.
It's really not supposed to work like that.
Yeah, I know it isn't, Keesha, but I mean, I managed somehow to get us into this mess, and I'm going to manage to get us out. Besides, success breeds success. The more businesses we get up and running, the better it looks for the foundation.
So how are the first 4 doing?
Oh, they're going great. I just called Abby Forrest. I sent her over to see Luke Spencer with one of her to-die-for pecan pies.
Wow.
Yeah, see if she can't wrangle up a little order for the Charles Street Bakery.
Well, knowing her pies, I think very little wrangling will be required.
Yeah, take that one.
These are all men.
Abby Forrest is a woman.
She's the only one.
There's more women in there. Just look.
Well, there better be. And don't give me any lame cliche about men being more entrepreneurial.
That never even crossed my mind. Keesha, you know that there were no restrictions on the applications.
Oh, that's right.
What? Nadine Roll.
Yeah. She's worked in Port Charles for 20 years as a domestic. She wants to start an employment agency.
Yeah, I remember her.
And it's not just for ordinary domestic help. This is where you go when you need to hire kindness and common sense, childcare, in-home companions for the sick and the elderly, you know? The type of stuff your aunt used to do or your grandmother. Only families are scattered all over the place now. Everybody's working. So where do you turn for help?
Mrs. Roll's agency.
Exactly.
You bet. I think it's a great idea. Put it at the top of the priority list.
Really?
Yeah, come on, the lady's got a plan. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't work. And besides that, she's going to be providing jobs for people in the community who don't have specialized skills. And better than that, what she need to open up? She needs an office, a desk, a Rolodex, and a phone. I think it's our kind of business, don't you?
Definitely. I need to tell you something, AJ.
Yeah, shoot.
Well, some people would have taken that whole scandal thing and just buckled under and gone sour, or walked away. But you have taken all that negative energy, turned it around, and used it to make the foundation fly. And I just really admire that.
Thanks, Keesha. I mean that. Oh, lady. Well, I think it's pretty safe to say, Keesha, that tomorrow we are going to make 4 people very, very happy.
Yes, I am impressed and very proud.
You know something? We're doing a great thing here.
Yes, but I was talking about you. Your family was ready to feed you to the wolves, and you weren't intimidated.
Yeah, well, I guess somewhere along the way I kind of grew used to it. No slip-ups this time, though, right? Every T is going to be crossed, every I is going to be dotted. And if Ned or my father or my grandfather or Chester, the accountant for that matter, has so much as the most insignificant question, I'm going to be able to answer it. Because they're not going to make a fool of me again. I'm going to beat them at their own game. Seems to be the only thing they respect.
And the foundation will be all the better for it. But when will it stop, AJ? All this one-upmanship.
When Ned cries uncle. When my family finally respects me. And the only way that's going to happen is when this foundation is up and running and is strong enough that it can operate independent of ELQ. And everyone in the city knows that I'm the one who did it. That we did it.
I hear you, AJ.
So, you help me?
Any way I can. You know, I've done this exact same thing.
Oh, yeah? Done what?
I've stood in this doorway and tried to imagine what this neighborhood would look like once the foundation has really started to make a difference.
Yeah, well, that's not exactly what I was doing. It's not to say I haven't done that before, but right now my thoughts were a little more specific.
Personal.
Yes. But I don't mind telling you. I was just thinking how nice it would be to slip into the cool dark of that bar down there, where nobody knows me, and give a double vodka straight up my undivided attention.
I thought you were a recovered alcoholic.
No, not recovered, recovering. One day at a time, that's how we take it. And I'll tell you what, today, I'd give just about anything for a drink.
Why? I mean, did something specific trigger it? Or is it just the pressure in general?
Yeah, I guess the pressure's part of it. I mean, you know, the work we're doing here on Charles Street, it's so urgent, it's so important. And I want it to succeed. I really do, and people expect me to make it succeed. But unfortunately, those expectations don't come with a whole lot of support. So it's like I got this do-or-die thing, this gotta-make-it-happen element happening inside of me. And then there's the positive stress. I mean, making a difference and knowing it, despite what anyone else says, it's such an incredible adrenaline rush. And there is nothing that feels better when that rush hits than a celebratory drink. Put the two of them together, and I guess you get the picture. What am I saying? Of course you don't get the picture. You can barely get through a glass of white wine during the course of an evening. I mean, how can you possibly understand how your stomach burns after you've had a shot of tequila gold? And then that calm feeling that just kind of creeps up your veins after you've had a couple more. And then there's just this incredible sense of peace.
AJ. You don't have to do this to yourself.
You think I want to do this? I mean, I don't enjoy this, Keesha, but I don't know how to stop. Do you know how to make it stop?
You could go to AA. When was the last time you went to a meeting?
AA. It's platitudes and homilies. Sharing, coping mechanisms. I've heard it all 1,000 times, and the bottom line is, nothing would feel better right now than to see my reflection in the bottom of a highball glass.
But you realize that isn't an option for you. AJ.
Yes, I know.
You're scaring me.
I'm sorry. Look, I don't mean to. Thanks for listening. I feel better, I do, really.
Please don't patronize me.
I'm not. Talking about it helps to work it through your system. And it's one of the cornerstones of AA. That's what sponsors are all about.
That sounds reasonable. So why am I still worried?
Don't be. I'm not gonna go out in some binge. I just need a vent.
Anytime. I mean that. And maybe you really should consider going to one of those meetings.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Well, isn't this cozy?
Jason, don't start. It's not what you think.
Oh, really? What do I think?
Jason, just chill. I was having a hard time and Keesha was being a friend.
A hard time about what?
Jason, just don't
No,
start.
it's all right. If you have to know, I was fighting a pretty hard urge to have a drink.
Oh, for crying out loud. Get over it, AJ.
Jason.
And how dare you drag Keesha into your self-pity routine?
Excuse me? I was having a bad moment here, and Keesha was giving me a little bit of support, which is a lot more than I can say for you, little brother.
No. You were just using her to validate your own take on your life and your alcoholism, which can be summed up in about 3 words. Poor, pitiful me. Just give it up.
Jason, do you really think this is necessary?
Yeah, actually, I do. Because the truth of the matter is, AJ, your incessant whining notwithstanding, you're one of the luckiest people on earth. You're young, you're healthy, you were born into more money than any of us know what to do with, and by virtue of that fact, you're involved in running one of the biggest financial conglomerates on this planet. So maybe you don't have a girlfriend. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. So what the hell do you have to feel sorry about?
I'm an alcoholic, Jason. You've got no idea how difficult that is. How it colors everything.
Tough.
What do you mean tough? Cope with it. It's not that easy. Stress builds up. Urges kick in.
If the Charles Street Foundation is too much stress for you, walk away. Go back to the hotel. At least you have the option. Most people don't, in case you hadn't noticed.
That'd suit you just fine, wouldn't it? Yeah, you'd like me out of the way.
No. No, I'd rather do it with you. But not at the expense of your sobriety. If, in fact, that's really an issue.
Oh,
and I didn't just walk in on some big, fat sympathy ploy staged for Keesha's benefit.
Come on, Jay. You're unbelievable. You know that? Look, I tell you what. I think I'm just going to leave because I've had enough abuse from you for one day. I'm going home. Look, I'm sorry.
It's not your fault, AJ.
Oh, yeah, it never is.
Are you proud of yourself?
Keesha, you don't understand.
You know what, Jason? I don't understand. I got work to do.
Well, I just got this intense craving.
Right now.
If not sooner. What do you say? The farm stand on Turnpike Road is open. We can pick up about 100 ears or so, cook them up to your place, my place. Doesn't matter.
Well, actually, I thought I'd put in a couple more hours here.
All right. I guess we better have this out. Go on, take your best shot.
You were really mean to AJ earlier, Jason. I didn't like it.
You haven't met AJ when he's drinking. He's not a nice person. He's self-destructive and maudlin, and he screws up everything he touches. And right now, his hands are all over Charles Street.
Exactly,
Look,
and that's part of...
Keesha, I have been here too many times. And I know the best way to handle this is not to get sucked into AJ's neediness or self-pity, because if you do, you validate it. And if he feels validated as a victim, he's off the wagon, and we have a major problem on our hands.
All right. I mean, you certainly know more about the dynamics involved here than I do. I just felt so bad for him. I still do, and I want to help him.
So treat him the way you always have. But don't let him con you into being responsible for him. You'll be real sorry. Now, at risk of sounding monumentally selfish,
Yeah?
could we just forget about AJ and focus on my needs?
Which are?
Dinner. And your smile. Not necessarily in that order. No, that's better. Since I'm on a roll, do you think I can convince you to turn off that computer and kiss me?
Sure. Just not necessarily in that order. Go faster. Faster, just...
Excuse me, hello, this is not a kiss-a-thon, this is a walk-a-thon. Come on, kids, break
Well,
up.
as long as we finish, what's the difference?
That's right. You've heard of the tortoise and the hare, Felicia. If you keep up at that pace, we'll pass you lying by the side of the road.
Water. Doesn't... Well, do you need some water? Doesn't take much to convince me. So, have you heard about Robin?
No, what about her?
She applied for a delayed admission to Yale.
Well, she's not going in September?
Yeah, so she says. Shame to miss such an opportunity, isn't it? Maybe there's somebody that she trusts that could talk some sense into her.
I think she means you, Jason.
Me? Like, Felicia, I don't know if I could tell her to go and mean it. You know, I mean, being with Stone is important to her, and if I were Robin, I'd probably do the same thing.
Okay, let me put it this way. If you could at least just get into it with her, it could save her from having an ugly scene with Mac.
Mac?
Yeah.
Okay, that puts it in a whole other light. I'll see what I can do. Good, let's go.
Keep walking. I really get a message for that person.
Get credit for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get us some water.
Okay.
Hey, way to go, great walk.
He did great, didn't he?
Yeah, he's hanging in. I hear you are too. Well, there's a rumor going around that you're putting Yale out for a year.
Did Mac tell you that?
Felicia.
Boy, he's yapping about this to everyone.
Look, Robin, it's a big decision. You know, it's a whole year out of your life.
Hey, I'm lucky I have a year to give. Stone might not.
You don't know that for sure.
What if I'm right? Jason, if I leave in September and Stone doesn't make it till spring, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. How can anyone believe that I could actually keep my mind on my studies anyway? If I blow up my freshman year, it's on the record forever. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Well, can't argue with that.
Thank you. Could you explain that to my Uncle Mac for me?
No. Aside from the fact I don't want to get in the middle of this, I think the message would carry more weight coming directly from you.
Gee, thanks, pal.
Sure, I'll see you.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you. Hey, now.
Hey, you guys are gonna have to cool off from the pool before we cut it out.
You got it.
Let's go.
Hey, what's the matter?
I know that look. It's Mac.
Am I that predictable?
No, he is.
That's a relief.
Hey, I was just suggesting we all go back to our place and float in the pool for a while.
You know, so that is a great idea. I know I've earned it, huh?
That is a great idea.
This is ridiculous. They've taken over the entire park, and now the rest of us can't enjoy it. They'll be leaving soon. Well, I really don't see why the city permits this sort of thing. Maybe they could just go somewhere and die and get it over with.
Excuse me?
I wasn't speaking to you. And as far as I'm concerned, they've gotten exactly what they deserve.
I can't help but overhear you, but I must have heard you wrong. Exactly who is it that's gotten what they deserve?
This is a private conversation.
No, please, I'm really interested. Do you mean people with AIDS?
That's exactly who I mean.
And they deserve AIDS as in punishment.
That's not quite what she's saying. No. That's precisely what I'm saying.
So I'm curious. Who is it that's punishing me? And what did I do to deserve this? I mean it. I would like to hear your answer. What did I do to deserve this?
Wait. Let him handle it.
Well, if you have AIDS, I imagine it's because of irresponsible, immoral, and sinful behavior, and God has his punishments for people who pervert natural and divine law.
You've given this a lot of thought, haven't you? Well, it's funny because I always thought that God loved me. In fact, I was taught that he loved me so much that he created me in his image. I can't imagine him wanting this to happen to me, no matter what I could have done.
I don't think you can presume to know what God wants.
But you are. You're presuming that he wants to punish me with AIDS. Well, what about the people who've gotten it from a blood transfusion? And how about the little babies? How did they pervert God's law?
Well, I feel sorry for them.
Me too. And for anybody who's gotten this disease because they were ignorant, or tried to be cool, or didn't love themselves enough to take precaution and be smart. Do you know anybody with AIDS?
No.
No. Well, then you've got no real clue what it's about. And you're not qualified to make judgments in God's name or in anybody else's.
Let's get out of here.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Look, I'm sorry about that.
Don't apologize.
Listen, Stone, you went a lot easier than I would have.
I just hate that you have to waste your energy on stupidity like that.
Hey, let's go swimming.
Yeah. Hey, you know, this walk took a lot out of me. Would you mind if I took a rain check on that?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. You go ahead, babe, all right?
I'll see you guys later, okay?
All right.
Take care.
See you guys.
That was so hateful.
What's the matter, AJ? You look a little pale.
Just every time I think I have Stone figured out, the guy surprises me.
Who made this?
I did. I didn't make it. I mean, there was some left over from yesterday, so I just plugged the burner in.
You did what?
It was late yesterday. It was practically fresh when we closed up shop.
Well, have you tried it, AJ? Here,
No.
try
I
some.
stopped off at the coffee bar and got a double cappuccino.
Oh.
Well,
nice
thank
of
you for thinking of us.
I made the coffee, sorta.
Whoa, you look like you haven't seen bed for a week.
Well, I sure didn't see one last night. Is it Stone? Yeah, he's in the hospital again. He's gonna have to stay there for a while, too. I've got some really bad news, you guys.
Robin, what happened?
Lately Stone's been having problems with his vision. But he figured that his eyes were just tired. He's been making incredible progress with his dyslexia. Kevin gave him these little plastic sheets to help him read. And he was reading. A lot. He was discovering books and liking it. So when his vision started to get blurry, he just figured that his eyes were strained.
That makes sense.
No such luck. He's got this thing called CMV.
What is that?
It's an opportunistic infection that attacks the retinas. He's going blind.
Oh, God.
I know, it's really awful, but you guys gotta do me a favor. All of you. Look, I'm trying really hard to stay positive for Stone's sake. I mean, there's nothing else to do. We can't fight what's coming or the direction that it's gonna take. We're just gonna have to find the joy in what we have. So please, just don't say anything sad or sympathetic. In fact, I just would rather if you wouldn't say anything at all. Because if I start to cry, I may never stop. All right. Now, about what you did to Stone.
Why do I have this sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach?
No.
What'd you do now, AJ?
I don't know.
It's a good thing. Writing that letter was totally cool. I think it actually kind of renewed Stone's faith.
Good, I'm glad to hear it.
Wait, back up a minute. What letter?
Look, it's not a big deal. I just, I had a couple things that I wanted to say to Stone, some apologies, things like that, and putting it in a letter seemed like a good way to handle it.
That was very thoughtful of you.
Well, don't go giving me any medals. I think I probably did it more for myself than I did for Stone.
Well, it meant a lot to him.
Good.
And it got me thinking. And I came up with an idea.
Anything we can help you with?
I'm counting on it. I want to put together a book for Stone. Letters, poems, stories, pictures, anything that we can put between covers that expresses how we feel about him. In ways that he can see. You know, why he still can. To remind him of shared experiences or just make him laugh. Or maybe there's something you want to say to him. Like AJ did. Maybe you don't feel comfortable saying it out loud. So write it down. I want him to feel like his life meant something. That he touched a lot of people. It's starting to become really important to him. Will you help?
I'd like to see you try and stop us.
That is such a great idea. It really is. Thank you.
Keesha? Where's Jason?
Oh, he went to see Stone. And Robin's running errands.
Can you believe what's going on here?
It is so awful. I'm sick for them.
I've known Robin for so long, and I keep asking myself, when did she grow up? How did I miss this?
Hello? May I help you?
I'm looking for AJ Quartermain.
That'd be me. Hi. How can I help you? Carla, sit, please. So tell me, what brings you to the Charles Street Development Foundation?
Well, you gonna grade me on self-presentation or something like that?
No, I just want to know what you're all about.
Well, right now, that would be a bad case of nerves.
Oh, come on, there's no need for that. We're pretty harmless here, aren't we, Keesha?
Hey, it's the middle of the afternoon, and I haven't bitten a single person all day.
There you go. Please, relax. Would you like some coffee? I made it myself.
How progressive. I'm impressed.
Don't be.
Do you have some filing to do? Do you live in the neighborhood?
Yeah, I'm studying for my MBA at PCU.
Oh, maybe you know my brother, Jason Quartermain.
No, but I think I've seen him around. Anyway, my original intent was to get the MBA out of the way before I tried to start my own business. But when I heard about the opportunity here, I thought, why not?
Well, so no, it says that you want to start an employment agency.
For temps. That's office temp service.
I know.
Of course. So dumb. Your family only owns one of the biggest corporations in the world. It's not like we've never used them before.
Yeah, but a good temp is hard to find.
Well, exactly. That's why I want my agency to be elite, offering only the most impeccably trained help in the industry.
Now, do you have background in this area?
From both sides. I did temp work myself, and while I was going to school at Boston, I ran a successful recruiting campaign from campus. So I know what employers are looking for, and I know the job skills that are necessary in today's market. It wouldn't take a lot of capital to start. 4 walls, a phone, a few file cabinets, maybe some office supplies.
Well, who knows? Maybe we can come up with a computer and even a fax machine.
So you're going to look at my proposal?
Well, yeah, Keisha's been after me ever since we started up to find more qualified women for the program. I think you fit the bill very nicely, and I like your enthusiasm. I think the first thing we need to do, though, is fill out some forms. Where do I have those forms? Here we go. Yeah.
Start that had any sense in it. Instead of coming out so cool and cheeky with that imaginary blue arrow mark. That was...
Hey, dude and dudette. You guys ready to soak up some rays?
Oh, I don't know, but I think I like it.
Well, campers, in case you didn't know it, it is hot out there.
It's sweltering. The sun is beating down.
Which means this is the perfect day for the beach.
Sorry, I couldn't tell.
We know that, and that is why we brought the beach to you. Who's got the fan? Oh, my God.
You like this? You like this?
Oh, my God. Get up. Up. Let's go. Back on. Come on. Shades, sir?
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, that's a look. That's a look. I like. Oh, this is you. I like this one.
A bushy blonde.
Yeah.
Wanna be? All right, now, who's got the accessories?
Right here, got him accessories?
Wow.
Hey, I'm a city kid. What am I supposed to do with this?
Make me on campus? Oh, come on, it'll be a good switch for you.
So
Look what I
that
got
look
for you.
is cool. That is you.
That is ensemble. I agree. That's good. That's good.
Thank you. Woo! I got shades. Beautiful. Now, does everyone have their sunglasses?
Yes, and please remember that unfortunate hole in the ozone layer.
Oh, give it here. You know, I hate to get burnt on the first day. All right. Thank you very much. Can you do my math, please?
Of course. Okay. Beach bums, for your viewing pleasure, let's see what we have here. We have beach blanket bimbos. It's a personal favorite of mine. Beach blanket barbecue.
Yeah.
And the ever-popular beach blanket boogie.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Hey, you got a beach blanket badminton?
Jason, you're such a square.
Baseball?
How about blackjack? No, but you know what I think we have is beach blanket black belts.
Oh, the Kung Fu version. Woo!
Blanket bourgeoisie?
What?
Wait, it's a political film.
Oh, man. I think there's something in here for everybody, Jason.
You know, in about 1 minute, a doctor's going to walk in here and have a fit.
Well, I think that's probably not a problem, considering we're related to most of the staff. Now, what do we forget? Food!
I guess.
All right.
I want you to know that Grandma sent over her very famous Sofa.
Sofa!
There we go.
Hey, potato salad.
Oh, yeah, potato salad.
Chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Keisha's fruit salad.
Oh, yeah, no.
Legs?
Okay, let's do that.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Just to know something, this is actually the first time in weeks that I've been hungry like rabbits.
It's good to hear.
Better send you the nicest thing I've ever heard. Thank you. Here.
All right.
Check out the pecs on that baby.
Who brought the bug spray?
Ooh, back to that chicken. Good.
Holy cow. Hey, Mac.
What's up, Mac?
Cowbunga, dude. Where's the party?
It already was. We had a little beach party.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me you've been to the beach and back already today.
Well, you could say that.
I would say that. Wouldn't you say that?
I'd say that.
The party was in Stone's hospital room.
Yeah, you know, Mac, we figured what Stone's going through isn't exactly a day at the beach, so we took the beach to him, right?
See, aren't they nice? They brought music and food and entertainment.
It was, nifty.
Marty.
Blanket lingo for period film.
Right. Bikini bounce.
They were so funny. They were being really sincere, though, and totally politically incorrect.
Yeah, it was great.
Those were the days, so I've been told.
Yeah, before we lost our innocence.
The best part about it was that Stone loved it all. I haven't seen him laugh like that in so long. He actually ate when he was hungry, which is a first for this medication. But then he got kind of tired, which is probably the medication, too. Well, I think it was all that stunned myself.
So, we came back here for one of your iced cappuccinos, Mac.
Well, I think I can help you out with that. Seems like you picked a good excuse to stay out of the office.
Yeah, there was that.
Well, now we're going back to work, aren't we?
Right.
No more sloughing off.
I am going to help out there this afternoon, and then I'll be at the hospital tonight.
So, how are things going at the foundation?
Well, actually, Catherine, it's going great. We're working on the next bunch of grants. We got some terrific candidates.
More women this time?
Actually, there's one in particular. She's very impressive. She wants to start her own temporary employment agency.
Well, that seems to make a lot of sense since you're bringing all this new business in. I'm very impressed. Good work, AJ.
You guys, there's nothing to worry about. I've been spending nights at the hospital with Stone, which means I'm not exactly getting what you call restful sleep. And so I'm tired. But other than that, I'm fine.
Robin, you'd say that if you're on the verge of collapse.
Which it looks like you are. Look, kiddo, we all know what you're trying to do for Stone. You can't neglect your own health.
You guys, I'm going to get a big sign to wear on my neck that says, I'm fine, with big, red, bold letters on it. Come on, you guys, lighten up.
Robin, all we're telling you
listen, I wanted to tell you how much Stone loved his beach party.
Well, I'm glad he enjoyed it.
Are you kidding? He's still laughing about it. And wearing the sunglasses just to confuse the nurses. I really can't thank you guys enough.
Hey, I ought to be thanking you. I mean, it's not every day I get to dust off the old Aloha shirt.
An Aloha shirt on AJ Quartermain. That's an image I can't quite get.
Well, stick around, Carla. I'm full of surprises. I don't think you've met Robin yet.
No, but I met your application.
Robin helps out around here. Robin Scorpio, Carla Guthrie.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
You too. Good luck with the temp agency.
Thanks.
So, Carla, were you looking for me?
Yeah, I think I have something that you've been waiting for.
Come on, Carla. Let's go sit down over here. So, what do you have for me?
The financial information that you requested.
Great. Got that together quickly, didn't you?
Well, I'm not very good at waiting around. This may sound presumptuous.
No, please, shoot.
Well, since the last time I was here, I've been looking at real estate, just in case my application gets accepted.
You think ahead? That's good. I like that. Did you find anything?
Well, there's this house on Douglas Street that would be ideal. It's got 2 floors, so I could live upstairs and convert the living room and dining room into office space. Not to be pushy, but how long does the application process take?
Well, the board meets Monday evenings to review new candidates, and I probably shouldn't tell you this, but your proposal was very impressive, and I think Tuesday morning, if you come by first thing, I'm pretty confident I'll have some good news for you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Hey, it was my pleasure.
Oh.
I'll see you soon.
Okay.
That's right.
Thank
Great.
you. Bye.
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 Oh, bye.
Hey, how you coming with the package for the board meeting?
Okay.
You look terrible.
Gee, thanks. You don't look so good yourself.
No, I mean it, Robin. You really look ill.
Jason, AJ and I have been saying the same thing. She won't listen to us.
I'm fine. A little rundown, kind of a sore throat, maybe.
Wait a second. She didn't say anything about a sore throat before.
No, she didn't.
Hello, you can stop referring to me as if I'm unconscious.
Robin, you were burning up. Okay, conscious person, stick out your tongue and say, ah.
I guess I must have been out of town when you got your medical degree.
Don't be difficult. Robin, please, do it. Now, does it hurt when you swallow?
Some.
Swollen glands.
So what? Maybe I'm getting strep throat or something. Big deal.
All right, I'm taking you to GH right now.
For a sore throat, I don't think
Is
so.
this your purse?
Robin, I really think he's right.
Come on, Robin, so do I.
This is so silly.
Come on, I guess we'll have to look like fools. Let's go.
But I have work to do. Why am I going to the
It'll take a minute, that's all.
It'll take a minute. I'll just go home then. You know, it's probably nothing.
Right, it's strep throat, flu.
Right. Whoa.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just think my legs are going to give out. Can we just sit down for a second?